We're back after small technical difficulties. Back and spookier than ever. We're ready, Freddy Krueger. There we go. Nailed it. We're back with episode 6. But in Spanish. Seis. And that is our number of the week. 6. And our guest of the week. Our first guest. Our honorary guest. Oh, be our guest. No, we'll get copyrighted or sued or something. This is our beautiful friend Melissa. Hi. Okay. Yeah. So, I have to give like a little bit about myself. You can talk about yourself.
Oh, no, thank you.
No? Okay. So this is just our beautiful voice friend Melissa.
Yes.
And today she's going to get spooky with us.
Hell yeah.
We're going to be talking a little bit about scary stories.
A little bit of that.
A little bit about urban legends.
A little pinch of this.
And to finish it off, Melissa's going to give us some sick knowledge.
Oh, God.
About some serial killers. We're just going to chit-chat.
Just a teaspoon.
Yeah.
All the serial killers.
Just a pinch of serial killers to really spook up your October.
Tricks, Fruity Pebbles. She knows it all.
All right, Rabbit.
Silly Rabbit.
All right.
Spooks are for ghouls.
So, I'm going to start it off.
Go.
I'm going to throw you guys a little scary story to set the mood.
Let's hear it.
This one is off of Reddit.
Okay.
I don't remember what tag it was under, but here it goes. In Okinawa, there was a house near the USO on a Kadena Air Force Base that was abandoned. A man killed himself and his family in it.
Oh.
It was said to be haunted. It was even part of the ghost tours that they gave on base. Reports that the house lights would turn on by themselves and creepy things happening. One story was that a woman could be seen washing her hair in the sink in the kitchen through the window. Creepiest thing by far was that this house shared a chain link fence with the daycare building.
Ooh.
My friend's mom worked at the daycare. Children 4 to 5 years old would constantly throw toys over the fence. When they asked why, they said they wanted to play with the children on the other side.
Oh my God. Goodbye.
All of these kids saw these other children, but the adults could not. It thoroughly freaked anyone who worked there out.
Oh, God.
And then someone commented below it and said, Chinese have a superstition that young children until a certain age have a, quote, third eye for the supernatural. Dogs and cats apparently possess this as well.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
I think... Alright. So, I
Are
have
we
cats. I'm very
Spooked.
spooked, especially
Yeah.
the part about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
That got me. Fucking... Anything with little kids involved automatically makes it creepy.
That's why I'm
dead little ghost kids
so
makes it no
scared.
better.
I'm so scared when I have kids that they're just gonna like come to me and like tell me some weird ass message. Like if my mom dies, I know that bitch, Diane, if you're listening, I know for damn sure she will find a way to have my creepy ass daughter talk to me like I talk to her.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, because you and your mom always sense things about each other. You guys are so, on the same
When I was a kid, I,
level.
she was, crying on the couch. I told this on the podcast a couple episodes ago, I think. And, she was, crying on the couch, and, I, toddled up to her, and I, put my hand on her knee, and I was like, don't cry, Dolly. And no one in my life ever called her Dolly, except one person in her life who I have never met and had since passed. And then, her favorite song came on the TV, and I walked up to the TV, and I was like, I love this song. And then, went back to playing with my toys. And my mom was like, what demon child do I have in this house? She literally was, about to run out of the house and be like, my daughter's possessed. What the fuck is this?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But you and your mom always have stories like that, too. I feel
Yeah, we're just...
always have it.
We're just witchy women.
Yeah, they have, a connection.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah,
you were
undoubtedly.
birthday party?
Yeah. Yeah, at my birthday party when I started crying, and then she like ran in.
Oh
and
yeah.
She's like, I felt you crying from outside.
She knows. Diane knows.
Diane knows what's up.
Diane knows you and Jason like the back of her hand.
Mm-hmm. Jason's my brother. Sweet Jason. What's up, bubs? You don't probably listen to this.
He probably does.
He'll know since you said it now, though. He'll get the vibrations.
Hope so. Pick up the phone, dude.
You get a text from him just right now.
All right, let's move on to some urban legends.
Urban legends.
What's your favorite urban legend, Dom?
My favorite urban legend, I definitely have to go with Bloody Mary.
Okay.
I had like a fascination with urban legends growing
I
up.
was terrified
That
of
one
Bloody
was
Mary.
my scariest, I think. The one that, like, really
Yeah.
scared me the most.
Yes.
Yes.
Any like reiteration of it too, like, you know, like the Sandman, like saying his name 3 times or whatever. Any like chanting something in the mirror 3 times and having something come out of it or being haunted or possessed because of it is just terrifying to me.
What was your version of Bloody Mary?
My version of Bloody Mary, I mean, I read it all. I really like, I knew a couple, but I think the one that, if I were to just describe it, if someone asked me, what's Bloody Mary? Probably an awful alcoholic beverage. I'll just get that out there right now.
It's really bad. It's not good at all.
It's tomato juice.
Once you turn like 35, I'm pretty sure you like it. But like,
God.
that's just because it's so for old people.
Yeah, it's like the antioxidants, and you're just like sucks the liquor out of you, even though you're putting more liquor in you.
It's just so gross.
Garnish it with a wet
It's cold tomato soup with a shot of vodka.
But everyone at work though always tells me though, they're like, once you get older, you'll like it. Once you get older, and I'm like, when is
But
tomato
anyway.
juice ever really like refreshing? Oh, who even
very
like
acidic.
who does that?
It's very sick.
A tomato is a very acidic food.
That's like
The
prune
older
juice.
you
Who
get-
does that?
We are not on topic at all.
Okay, we're bringing it back to the Bloody Mary lane. Not the tomato juice, the blood and tomato juice. That's our link. So we're kind of on on track.
All right.
It's a stretch, but gotta stretch.
Relax those muscles.
Bloody Mary. You go into a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta close the door.
Okay.
You gotta turn all the lights off.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe have a candle or something of the sort.
Yes.
You gotta stand in front of the mirror. You have to look into the mirror. And you have to say Bloody Mary 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in some versions you spin around, and some you say something about how like, Bloody Mary, I have your dead baby, because there's like, the backstory is that she was a witch or a woman scorned that was burned at the stake.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a child, or she was just, I don't know, she was just a witch of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what version you read.
Yeah.
But basically after you do that, she's supposed to be able to see her like behind you in the mirror, and you'll get scratches on your arms and your
And she's gonna haunt you for the rest of
face.
your life, right?
Until See, the way that I was told it was you do it in the mirror, and then you'll see her standing at your bed every night until she like slowly kills you or something like that.
I think I've heard that version too before.
Nice slow.
That's the way I heard it.
The bitch will drag it out.
Have you guys heard any of the backstories by them about
No.
that?
About Bloody Mary?
Yeah.
No.
Did you guys ever watch Supernatural?
Yeah.
I watched a
I
couple
think there's an
seasons of
episode
it,
about it.
but-
There was an episode about Bloody Mary, and I think in that episode, like, you couldn't look in any reflective surface
Yeah.
if you said her name.
Ooh.
And she'd always just pop up in any mirror.
In any mirror,
Until she killed you. So it'd be like weeks would go by or something like that, and you would see
Oh
her in
my
every
God.
reflective surface, like in the window,
Crazy.
in the mirror, anywhere. She'd just
Oh
be
my God,
standing
I'd
there.
gouge my
Closer,
eyes out.
closer, every-
Until she finally
She-
attacked.
Oh. Anything about, like, creepy bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, creepy
women are so much
fucking
worse.
gangly hair in front of their
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Like Samara, The Ring.
Never seen that movie. I
Nope.
refuse to ever watch
We'll
it.
never see that movie.
Thank you.
I think that's
I'm
where
also very big of a I'm a very big bitch when it comes to scary. Sorry,
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
No, you are fucking golden as fuck.
But that used to scare the crap out of me. Any kind of wait. Oh,
Samara.
yeah.
Right.
Sorry,
You're fine.
got distracted real quick. Yeah, that fucking scared the crap out of me. Just her hair in front of her eyes and everything like that. It was just so bad.
The way she walked.
It scared
Same
the
with The
crap.
Grudge. Same with that girl from that video game Fear.
Or the one from wasn't
No
there one in
idea.
the swimming pool? Some demon would come up from the swimming pool. It was like a movie, right?
Sounds familiar.
Woman of the Water.
Was it? I forget what one.
I'm sure that's a movie.
Woman of the water.
Woman of the water. Researcher.
Fact checker.
Research assistant.
My boyfriend Ed is in the corner, and he's our new researcher.
He's a researcher, sound effect guy, audience member, hype man,
husband. Alright, so some other urban legends. My all-time favorite urban legend is obviously the Jersey Devil.
Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
Do go on.
Because I have Jersey tattooed on me.
Makes sense.
You live and breathe.
So I am blood and earth Jersey.
That one's your favorite.
The good and the bad.
It's something I've always been so interested in, the Jersey Devil, and I've also always been so terrified of it because it's something I've heard that's been so scary my whole life. And it's like that one unknown thing that like everyone knows about.
Yeah.
And you're just like, but what is it? Like everyone has their own creation of the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, I used to associate it with the Tasmanian Devil. When I was a kid, when I first heard about the Jersey Devil, that was the only other like devil creature that I knew.
Yeah.
So I always associated the Tasmanian Devil.
I feel like I did too.
I thought that was a Jersey Devil.
Is this like a Bernstein Bear Montalo sex shit going on right now?
Everyone just
Now we're
associated
turning
with that.
this into a conspiracy theory podcast.
We're
I mean,
dead
that's also pretty spooky. We could go
nitty-gritty.
into some conspiracies, like the flat earthers or whatever.
Yo, me and Dana have had an alien experience together.
Oh my god, remember with the car?
Yeah, we can
I
talk
don't know
about
about
that if you want.
Were we on FaceTime when that happened? We were on FaceTime, weren't we? Or we were texting?
Well, I had an experience. It was like a series of experiences.
I'm
like,
37. Didn't one of you guys have
Yeah, that was Dana, and she was telling me about that. And then after she told me about that, my phone just like glitched the fuck out.
Yeah.
Purple and
And it
green
was
stripes.
also my friend Matt. Hi Matt, I know you're listening to this because I know you listen to the podcast.
Hi, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
He had sleep paralysis one night, and woke up with a picture of an alien like looking over his phone, and like you can see the reflection of the phone in his like phone screen, and the date is like I think it's like July 21st, 2020, or like something like that. And to this day, I believe it's the first picture in his phone. Like,
can Matt show us this picture?
I used to have the picture.
I need to see the picture.
All right, I'll try and contact him and see if I can get the picture again. But I remember telling you about that, and then that happened with like your phone.
Yeah.
But like a week or two prior to like us finding out about that,
Yeah.
I was driving down the main road in our town.
Yeah.
And it was like a different way home from school.
Mm-hmm.
And like I usually took the back roads, but for some reason that day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go left today. And so I went left, I went down the main road, and where the movie theater is, there's like a stop or a speed sign by like the roundabout. Like, you know what I'm talking
Which
about?
one?
Yeah.
Secord or Marquee?
Marquee.
Okay.
And there was a red pickup truck just like parked on the side of the road. All of their doors were open, the trunk was popped, the hood was popped, and there was a guy standing out front of it. None of their lights were on or like anything like that, so I was like, you know, just driving by like, oh, weird. And then as I passed him, I look in my rearview mirror. No one else is like behind me or around me like driving.
Mm-hmm.
I see this orange like golden ball of light like come down in the middle of my rearview mirror and then go flat on the ground, and like someone pulled up a string straight from the middle and just like went up in a straight line. Yep.
Just swooped right the
Yep,
fuck
and
back
it was
up.
less than probably 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then I slowed the fuck down because I was like, oh, what the fuck happened?
Oh
My
my
heart
god.
was racing, my hair was standing on end, and then I like got to a stoplight and I like looked around and I finally saw like cars pulling out from like that old people development.
Yeah.
And like people
that's
like coming
so
from the
weird.
other like
Yeah.
the other
Just stopped for half a
stoplight.
second.
Like
Yeah.
for the 2 stoplight sections that I was like in and going into,
There was no
one.
Did you lose time?
No.
So it was like in real life, just no one was. It was
Yeah. Like,
so
no
weird.
one was there. The ball, like, dropped down, and then, like, gone. And then
everyone started coming back. That's fucking
And
weird.
when I, like, saw the light was gone, his lights were blinking.
Yeah.
But the guy was gone.
But the guy was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think his ass got abducted?
Yeah, dude. Because I remember going home freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, as one would.
I would freak the fuck out too.
For sure.
Yeah.
I probably would have pulled over and just started like freaking
No,
out.
I, like, my ass was like, I gotta get my ass home, like, something is happening. And I was so terrified. But yeah, your phone freaked the fuck out.
It completely spazzed the fuck out. Like, it just looked like purple and green static. I couldn't turn it on for, like, the longest time. I think it was Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally got my phone back on, and I texted Dana immediately because we were just on the topic of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, don't some people say that alien life forms fuck with technology?
Yes.
They fucks with your fucking text.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of made my hair stand on, like, end.
And then she called me, and she was like, Dana, they're gonna abduct me. They're gonna come through my window. And I was like, just lock your window. And she was like, I can't.
Alien technology can't surpass a locked window.
It's a whole...
And yeah, she said that too, and I was like, nah, you're fine.
Nah, you're good.
Okay. Major segue.
You know what was an urban legend?
Yes.
And I feel like it was in my neighborhood.
What?
Do you remember when like people would tie their shoes together and throw them over the?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think that is? Because I
I
remember.
heard about drug deals.
I think it
and
was little kids being kidnapped.
What, like, that's a prime...
Like that's their
Spot?
shoes. Like
Yeah,
that's
like
their
a kid-
shoes.
Oh,
The
I
kid
never
was-
heard that.
Like a kid was kidnapped, and that's why they threw the thing in. Was just to like, warn everyone, and also warn that kid that was like kidnapped. That's what I was told when I was a kid. I don't remember by who, but I
Huh.
remember multiple people on
Interesting.
my street thinking that.
That's weird. No, my
So I was
neighborhood-
terrified in my street.
There's
growing
something,
up.
like, kind of
Dang.
terrifying
There was
about...
two.
Yeah, that terrified me too.
Like, dangling pairs of children's
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah, there's something so ominous about it. So I think that's probably where it came from. Was just like a myth about the children's shoes
Yeah.
being for like dead kids.
Spooky.
And I was so terrified of like walking down my street because I was scared that like I would become another dead kid and my shoes would be dangling somewhere. Like I was genuinely terrified
Yeah.
of that. But I remember people thinking that too. Like that was like a little
crazy.
weird legend from like where I lived.
Yeah.
You ever hear about the Hook Man?
The Hook Man.
You've totally heard about
That
the
was
Hook
another
Man.
episode of Supernatural.
They did a lot of urban
That's
legends.
because the first like 2 seasons were just about them like about urban legends.
They had a strict formula. They had a demon, usually based around an urban legend, that they defeated in that episode, and, you know, do it all over again.
And then
the
they
next
kill,
episode.
yeah, they kill it, they trap it, they do whatever. But
Dean
then,
gets a hot girl. Sam sometimes gets a hot girl, but, you know, he's still, you know, bitching and crying over his ex that he saw burnt alive on the ceiling. So there's that.
That's the first. Oh god, they cooked that
But
bitch.
that's tragic for him because that's how his mom died too.
It was.
So-
Oh god, I
So
remember.
I guess I'll give him a little flag.
it's his mom and his girlfriend. It's a nice two
Little juice.
Okay, so what is the legend of the Hook Man?
The Legend of the Hook Man.
Hook Man.
Is Hook for
Okay, so you have this classic, like, I'm gonna set the scene for
Is he
you.
the one who killed teenagers and then hung the kid on?
Let me set
I'm
the
sorry.
scene.
Let her do her thing, Dana.
Your classic 1950s high school couple.
Mm.
They're parked on an
What are their
off-road.
names?
Peter and
Cindy and Peter?
Yeah.
Cindy and Peter.
Okay.
I like that.
Very 1950s, like
Very
potential
cute.
parent names.
Fucking Cindy has the really high ponytail going on that has a
She's
nice
blonde.
curl at the bottom. She could be blonde. She could be like brown blonde. No, you know what? She's fucking blonde. She's fucking blonde.
She's blonde.
She's blonde.
Not
fucking,
natural though.
She has like the half side.
Peter
down,
has
but
like
also
Peter has like a buzz cut, sandy brown hair. He has his Letterman jacket on.
it's red and white.
They're parked off road. This is Riverdale. Oh my god, we got so much copyright infringement this episode, guys. But okay, so they're parked on the off road on a mountain overlooking the city town, wherever they are. There's a water tower off in the distance. Well, you know, Peter puts the moves on Cindy.
It's always that one spot in town where it was the kissing
the
spot.
make out point.
Yeah,
Thank you. Make out point in Pleasantville, USA. Peter is trying to set the mood. He is reaching his arm around Cindy. Cindy's like, ooh, I like this boy. I might let him touch my breastises.
Cindy,
not you. What did they call them? You devil. You devil. You devil. Foreshadowing. All of a sudden, there's a thump on the hood of Peter's car.
You have great literary devices going on.
I'm trying really hard.
So animated.
I'm really trying to put this on for y'all. So, Peter's like, he's like, oh, it was nothing, baby. It was nothing. The arm that he had extended is now reaching towards Cindy's breastises. And she's like, oh, Peter. Oh, she feels safe in Peter's manly, scrawny JV football team arms. And,
low muscle tone, but it's okay.
It's okay. So the thump happens again. And Cindy was like, baby, really, I'm getting scared now. And, Peter at this point wants Cindy to be and feel as protected as possible, so puffs out his chest, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go check it out. I think I'm telling the story wrong, but we'll get somewhere with it.
Keep going.
So,
you'll find it.
So, Peter...
I know where it's going, and I love it.
Peter, he reaches for the door handle, gets stuck because, it's a dad's old car, so
He gotta bang on it.
He gotta bang on it a little bit, but, he shoves into it like he shoved into fucking Gary at football practice earlier.
Like he's trying to shove into Cindy.
Like he's trying to shove into Cindy's wonderful lady business. He opens the car door, he gets out, he shuts the car door, he's checking stuff out. Cindy's in the car, she's kind of just chilling. She's cool at first, bopping her head around, looking around, playing with her poodle skirt. But eventually it gets to the point where Peter's just been gone for way too long.
Now Cindy's getting scared.
Cindy's getting more scared than she was when the banging happened. But,
not their banging.
Not their banging, because...
That banging interrupted their banging.
It did. It did.
Excuse me, sir.
Quiet out front. But, Cindy actually, she starts hearing the tapping again.
Nice.
On the roof of the vehicle. A little bit slower. Steadier than it was the last time. And Cindy's about had enough. She doesn't know if Peter's just playing a prank on her, trying to scare her, making her feel all vulnerable so she can go all the way with him. Cindy's had enough. Cindy opens the car door. She gets out and sees Peter's head on top of the car.
Peter! Peter, what have you done? No! Somebody call help!
Somehow I missed the entire aspect of, the hook. All that to add a hook somewhere. That's so bad.
We were doing so good.
What about that bitch who she falls asleep every night to her dog licking her? She puts her hand she's lying on her bed and she'll put her hand off the side of the bed and her dog usually is under the bed. So to calm her down when she's nervous because she lives alone, the dog licks at her hand until she falls asleep.
Never heard that one.
So that's going on. And so she's in her bed one night. She's alone as per usual, and she starts hearing a dripping noise, like a leaky faucet.
Oh, I know this one.
I haven't heard this one.
Well, strap the fuck in.
This one makes me sad.
Oh God, is it gonna be the dead dog? I hope not.
Strap fuck it.
Sorry, no spoiler.
Dog on it. So she's like, she goes to catch check the kitchen sink to check the leak, and nothing's leaking. So she's just like, okay. She goes back to bed. She still hears leaking. She goes in the bathroom, checks out the sink.
Yeah.
Nothing. She's kind of nervous at this point, so she's just like, whatever. She kind of thinks she hears like shuffling going on, like just weird noises that don't usually happen. So she's nervous. She's laying down. She puts her arm off the side of the bed, and she lets her dog lick her hand to sleep. And yeah, she falls asleep peacefully. And then she wakes up the next morning to get ready for work or whatever, and she goes into the bathroom to take a shower, and she pulls back the curtain, and she finds her dog.
Oh, God.
Hanging in the shower. Upside down.
I hate it.
Throat slit.
I hate it.
The dripping that she had heard the night prior is revealed to be his blood dripping from.
I hate it.
When the killer friggin' was licking her hand.
It was the killer licking her hand. The whole. I think he writes a message on the wall that is like something to the. Oh, humans can lick too, or humans have tongues too.
That's so creepy.
Ew.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Fucking.
Well, I have another urban legend, and this one was requested to talk about, actually,
Do go on.
by a good friend, Emily Fitzpatrick.
Hey, what's up?
She requested that we talk about the black dog.
The black dog?
Is this the dog that you see before dying or someone dies?
I believe so. Let's see. I'm on the Wikipedia page right now.
Okay.
And it says, a black dog is a spectral or demonic entity found primarily in the folklore of the British Isles. The black dog is essentially a nocturnal apparition, some of them shapeshifters, and are often said to be associated with the devil or described to be a ghost or hellhound. Its appearance was regarded as a portent of death. It's generally supposed to be a larger than normal dog and often has large glowing eyes. It is sometimes associated with electrical storms and also with crossroads, places of execution, and ancient pathways.
Oh.
Interesting.
So it's like an omen, like a really bad omen.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It says,
seeing a crow.
yeah, basically.
Okay,
It
so
says black dogs are generally regarded as sinister or malevolent, and a few are said to be directly harmful. They may also serve as familiar spirits for witches and warlocks. Some black dogs, however, such as Gert Dog in Somerset and the black dog of Hanging Hills in Connecticut, are said to behave benevolently. Some, known as guardian black dogs, guide travelers at night onto the road paths or guard them from danger. So some are good, some are bad. But that's interesting.
I think,
I never...
have you never heard of the black dog?
I've
No.
never heard of that before. But
I
that
never
makes
have.
sense that it would be like a hellhound or like an omen.
Yeah, of course.
I heard about it from my stepdad because apparently, my old stepdad, because apparently he was driving his truck home from work one night and it was really dark and there was just like a black dog that ran out in front of the street and just stopped, stared at him for a little bit. He just kind of stopped the car, didn't want to run over the thing. But yeah, it was just a black dog, glowing green eyes.
Ooh.
It ran off.
Spooky.
He's still alive from what I know.
But did anything negative happen to him in his life after seeing that dog?
Oh yeah, but that was his own doing. He brought that on himself.
And then another requested topic that we talk about. It is called, and I believe I'm pronouncing this wrong, it's La Llorona? La Llorona?
La Llorona. What?
I
Who?
think.
Who rather is La Llorona?
So it says, in Mexican folklore, La Llorona is a ghost of a woman who lost her children and now cries while looking for them in a river, often causing misfortune to those
like the
who are
Wailing
near
Woman.
her or who hear her.
What movie?
There's a movie about it?
There's a very scary movie about it called The Whaler.
Interesting.
She drowned.
What's the story?
There was a woman who
Yeah.
actually drowned her kids, and like her two kids in a
Mhm.
lake because of the the man she loved wouldn't be with her unless there was no kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says right here.
Yeah. And
Do you want me to read the full story?
yes, please go
Okay.
on.
So the legend says, the Mexican legend goes that in a rural village there lived a young woman named Maria. Maria came from a poor family, but was known around her village for her beauty.
Mm-hmm.
One day, an extremely wealthy nobleman traveled through her village. He stopped in his tracks when he saw Maria. Maria was charmed by him, and he was charmed by her beauty. So when he proposed to her, she immediately accepted. Maria's family was thrilled and that she was marrying into a wealthy family, but the nobleman's father was extremely disappointed that his son was marrying into poverty. Maria and her new husband built a house in the village to be away from his disapproving father. Eventually, Maria gave birth to two, a boy and a girl. Her husband was always traveling and stopped spending time with his family. When he came home, he only paid attention to the children, and Maria knew her husband was falling out of love with her. One day he left and never returned. Years later, as Maria and her twins were walking by a river, she saw a familiar carriage with a younger, beautiful woman next to her husband. Maria was so angry and confused that without thinking, she picked up her two children and threw them into the river, drowning them. Only after she saw their bodies floating in the river did she realize what she had done, and then she jumped into the river, hoping to die with her children. Now she spends eternity looking for her children around that river. It is said that if you hear her crying, you are to run the opposite way. If you hear her cries, they could bring misfortune or even death. Also, if you are a child, be extremely careful, because La Llorona is attracted to children, thinking they are hers.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Imagine being a kid and reading that shit.
Even now, I have goosebumps. Let's see.
That's what I would do when I was a kid. I would read urban legends and scary stories on the bus ride to school in the morning.
I was too much of a pussy for any of that.
It says here, at the gates of heaven, she was challenged over the whereabouts of her children and not permitted to enter the afterlife until she found them. Llorona is forced to wander the earth for all eternity, searching in vain for her drowned offspring. She continuously weeps, hence her name La Llorona. She's caught between the living world and the spirit world.
And she's ugly now. At least in the movie she is. It's called The Wailer. It's a really good scary movie if you guys want to get like spooked this Halloween season. And she just has like a gaping fucking... It's one of those scary movies where you
Gaping
almost...
fucking what?
You'll have to watch the movie to find out.
Well, at least it's a porno.
The Wailing. It's one of those scary movies where you don't see the monster. You see the monster very briefly. So I feel like that makes it even more terrifying when you get the glimpses of it.
Yeah, and you never know when it's going to come up.
Mm-hmm. So they make it extra terrifying.
That's what I don't like. I don't like pop-up scary movies.
But what's so...
It's cop-outs when they're just pop-ups.
I think
It's got
it's
a
psychological thriller.
Shake me to my core. Beat butterfly effect or some shit.
I've never seen that movie.
Very good. I suggest watching that too.
I've seen parts of it.
Side note. I have actually seen before a funny and scary movie.
Have you?
Like, they actually married the two well, to the point where I was laughing the first half and terrified the second half.
What was it?
Really? What movie?
It's called Behind the Mask,
Okay.
and it's...
Who's in it?
I don't remember. I don't think it's anyone very
not like a big
famous.
movie?
It's really not,
Oh.
but
Have you seen it?
it's very good. It's set up like a documentary
Okay.
about how serial killers work.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
it's about the town's local serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name, but he basically walks you through how the scary guys do what they do. Like how, like, you know, how when Michael Myers is chasing you, he'll be walking at a very fair, slow pace, and you'll be running for your fucking life as if you're trying out for the Olympics, but he'll still show up right behind you, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
He shows in the documentary, for instance, that they do that by only walking when you're, like, looking, or, like, when the camera angle's on them, and when the camera angle's off, they just race up behind you really fast, like, sprint. Naruto
Ooh.
sprint really fast up.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. It's set up very, like, funnily, and then
Yeah.
the second half of the movie, it turns
Spooky.
very
Is
spooky.
there like a serial killer in real life that is going to end up killing the documentarians? Is that how it ends?
Maybe.
Oh, I need to watch this.
I suggest.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in years. I watched it years ago with my brother. I watched it after I watched The Whaler, so it was a nice kind of cool down from a scary movie to a kind of funny, also scary movie. But I always remembered it.
And then the next movie you watched was strictly a funny movie.
I think it was oh my god, what?
No, it was a Lifetime movie.
It was
Really made you cry.
oh my god. Marty Python. It was a Marty Python movie.
Monty?
Monty?
Marty. No, it was a Marty Python
I
movie.
love that guy.
I got it from the off-brand Brickbuster.
Dead.
Hopefully this Halloween season, that's what we're going for, right?
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually.
Do you guys remember when that entire Halloween everyone thought they were gonna be killed by clowns?
Yep.
Oh my god, and no one did anything about that.
No.
Like, that was a genuine fear of everyone.
Yeah, it was like nationwide too.
Not on our side.
And then let's talk about serial killers.
Oh
Let's
god.
talk about fucking what's your favorite breakfast cereal and what's your most intriguing.
John Wayne Gacy.
Why John Wayne Gacy?
He's just like one of the most, like, I feel like widely known serial killers, but also, isn't he the one who dressed up as a clown
Yes.
and like killed people?
Yes. I think his.
So,
I don't
there we
know.
go. John Wayne
He
Gacy.
worked as a clown.
He worked as a.
I know. He was the birthday party killer.
And he painted
No, thanks.
pictures in prison of him as a clown.
I know.
They're terrifying. You can buy prints of them.
Maybe I will.
You
Oh,
should.
God.
Happy birthday.
Hang
No,
it up in your room.
I'd return
Right
it.
over your bed, on
Give
your
it back.
ceiling.
Like, thanks, but no
Does this
thanks.
come with a gift receipt?
Oh, this might be a really this is a total cliche, but I really like. I can't say really.
You
like
are really intrigued
killers.
by.
I'm really fascinated. I can't say I really liked because that's weird.
You don't know him personally.
I
He might
don't
be a
endorse
shitty
what he
guy, but
did.
he's really good at killing
You
people.
don't endorse serial killers.
Nope. That's a good disclaimer for this podcast.
The only
We
endorsement
are
of serial.
interested in their psychological makeup.
The only genuine interest in serial killer
Yeah.
that we promote is spooning that shit in your mouth and
Kill that box of cereal, baby.
nip, crackle, and pop.
Like, okay, sorry. My favorite, the serial killer that interests me the most.
My serial killer is.
My personal.
Hero.
It's like like
One day.
Alright, so Jeffrey Dahmer.
All right.
They came out with a movie about his life.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I know Ross Lynch is in it though.
I don't know who that is.
He was on a Disney show.
Probably like late Disney,
Allie-
where they started making dogs with a blood.
Allie and
AJ.
no, not Allie and AJ.
You're right. That's the
Music group.
music group.
They have a really good song out.
So good.
Allie and AJ.
better than the potential breakup
Yeah.
song.
What
Yes.
song could top that?
It's called "Take Me Out," and it's
What?
so good.
Isn't
Is
it that song that's like take?
No, that's "Take Me On." Okay, so Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer. What intrigued you about Jeffrey
Okay.
Dahmer?
Let's see. Because there's a couple things that intrigue me about him.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't his like stereotypical like serial killer when he was a kid. He
Mhm.
was very social, very like active.
Yeah.
Wasn't very like, but I assume the stigma around serial killers are that they're like very introverted as children. They like mutilate shit, you know,
Yeah.
like animals and stuff, and they just like
Mhm.
stay to themselves. But
Yeah.
he wasn't. He was like very outgoing.
Wasn't
Like
he
he-
very artistic too?
I'm not. I don't know.
I
He
read
was.
something about.
I just
that.
know
He
that he was
was
considered like
charismatic
the
as fuck.
class
Yeah.
clown in a lot of
Okay.
his like in a lot of his schools. Anyway, but one day he started having like these like mental images about fucking women, I think, and killing them. I'm pretty sure that's what he started doing, or men.
Mhm.
Maybe it was men because he was.
I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Dahmer was.
he
gay.
targeted. Yeah, okay, so. He would be like having sex and then he would murder them or something
Yeah.
like that. No, but I just know that he would used to watch this one guy run past like his house or whatever in a park.
Yeah.
Every single day he'd see the same man run, and one day the man decided that he was sick, and that was the day that Jeffrey Dahmer decided he was going to murder that man.
Oh.
So like,
Dang.
so he literally missed getting murdered by Jeffrey Dahmer by
like one day he just
That
decided-
sucks for him.
Mr. Bud.
That's great.
No, I know.
He's a serial killer.
But
How
he
fucking
didn't
lucky
get to
is that?
be
You're
the
like,
first-
I have a cold.
I
I
know.
should go run.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
one
Like,
day
that
you're
sucks.
into him, not gonna run, and you don't get murdered. Fucking goals.
She's like,
Goals.
don't you think? It's like, not dying.
What?
On a Saturday.
Because you decided you didn't want to run
my
that
God.
way. Disclaimer, we don't know what
We're not professionals.
yeah,
We're
on
just-
anything.
We're just spewing knowledge from what we think we know from our tiny little brains.
Which is nothing. Comparably nothing
But also
to all the
what pisses
things
me
there
off
is to
too
know.
about Jeffrey Dahmer is how he could have been caught so many times, but like really the police fucked it up.
Missed it. Like, yeah.
So badly.
How?
Like
Yeah.
one day he kidnapped some boy, and the boy escaped, or because they were usually like poor teenage like boys that he would go after.
Yeah.
That he would find, that he would pay
Yeah.
to take photos of them. That's how you'd get them. Be like, I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
Here's $200. Come back to my place
Yeah.
and we'll take pictures of
That's
you.
how a lot of murderers and rapists used to do it in like the 80s in the city.
Flattery is the quickest way to
They would call
He would go-
aspiring models.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He would go into gay bars and like be like, I'll take your photos. I'm a photographer
Yeah.
for like $200. But one day this boy, when he ended up to sidetrack, he killed one boy and then he killed like a couple years later, killed that same boy's brother. Didn't mean
Oh
to
my
do that. It was
gosh.
just
Didn't mean it.
Like he didn't plan it out. He was
It was
like, I
just
wasn't gonna kill this
coincidence.
kid and this kid's brother. It was like just a
Yeah,
coincidence.
it just happened.
of
He
fa-
wanted
of
him.
fate.
That's crazy.
But-
Silly serial killer coincidences.
But also,
How upsetting for that family.
Right?
Like, again?
Come on!
I just have one. We're not laughing at the death of anyone's family. We're just laughing at the terrible coincidence that happened.
yeah, that was bad. But so one day he brought some boy back to his apartment, which obviously, so where he killed people is in his
Yeah.
apartment. So he brought the boy back. The boy actually managed to run out and escape, and he ran down the street, and I guess a cop found him or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from?" And he was like trying to tell the cop what was going on. Jeffrey Dahmer comes back and was like, "This is my boyfriend. It's fine. He just took a lot of drugs."
Mm-hmm.
And because back then being gay was so like frowned upon, they didn't
Yeah.
care. They didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
They were just like, "All right, get that shit away.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him inside.
Yeah.
We don't want to deal with this."
Mhm.
And so he ended up
Crazy.
that boy
Yeah.
went back with Dahmer, and he got killed.
Mm-hmm.
The cops had him
Yeah.
right fucking there,
That's crazy.
and they fucked it up.
That's insane.
That makes me so angry. I think that was like only as like whatever, like maybe early on in his killing career, or like in the middle.
Killing career.
He made a killing.
He made a killing.
so sorry. Thanks.
That was a good one. That was really good.
He made a lot of killings.
But yeah, that was like somewhere in the middle of like. So they could have stopped
Yeah.
so many people
That's
from dying.
Crazy.
A lot of bad shit just happened because evidence or whatever gets screwed with, or there's just incompetence on
Do you ever
someone's end.
wonder?
I listen
You
to
have
a
to
lot
get
of
seriously
true
enough.
crime podcasts and just like podcasts about serial killers and
Last
And-
podcast on what?
such a good fucking podcast.
Shout the fuck out to that podcast.
Oh my
I
God.
love you guys.
Van Kissel,
Yeah.
I love him. Marcus Parks, Henry Zabrowski.
The best.
I see you guys.
Love you. We hear you.
That was where most of my
Hear us.
knowledge from like Jeffrey Dahmer was when I listened to a podcast by them and of them doing Jeffrey Dahmer, and I was so like, what the fuck? This is so good that
Yeah.
I read
They
more about
really
it, and I
get
was just
into
like,
it.
it's so
All
fucking
sides.
researched.
All
It's
sides,
so
yeah.
well researched.
Maybe I have
I
to
love
get
it.
into it.
So you have to. It's so good. They're my favorite series that they did is the one of Jonestown. That one shook me to my
Yeah.
fucking
Jonestown
core.
murder. Very
900 people.
Very interesting.
Drank the Kool-Aid.
I know. I told my friend. This is a bad joke.
It's okay, please tell
I
me.
told my friend that for Halloween he should be Jim Jones and his girlfriend should be about like a cup of Kool-Aid. And
She should dress up as the Kool-Aid man.
Please.
But it wasn't Kool-Aid though. It was Flavor Aid. Oh.
It wasn't
Look.
even Kool-Aid. The fucking reference is wrong, man.
Then make your own costume.
Does Flavor Aid have a mascot?
No,
Do they
but
have a
it's
man who
it's
breaks through, I don't know, like
it's dollar store Kool-Aid.
windows? Oh, ow.
Is that, oh yeah. No.
Oh no. Flavor Aid.
I mean, that's gotta be there. Jim
Branding.
Jones probably put them out of business, you know?
Honestly,
Have you drinking any Flavor Aid
Like,
recently?
they didn't have to be associated with
it's a
their
straw.
own company.
Flavor Aid is a straw?
Their mascot is a straw.
Let me see him.
It's so half-assed. Morbid. Horrible.
It's a red and white striped straw with two
Crack
hands and crack eyes smiling at
Crack
you.
that night.
No, probably snorted cocaine up himself.
It makes 2 quarts, that little packet. It's a lot
Yeah.
of Flavor Aid.
A lot of cyanide in that.
A lot of sign.
Kill us quick, daddy.
Oh my god. That's probably what the people in Jonestown said.
For word, I think it's
Yeah.
Because they did end up calling him daddy a lot too, right?
But then
father,
the people,
daddy, dad,
he was
pop.
also the father to a lot of the people there.
No, I don't.
Papa
No,
Jones.
he fucked a lot of people, but I don't. He only had like the one kid. I'm pretty
He
sure.
only had 1 kid.
Papa
With like the
Jones.
one woman.
Oh.
Not to
Oh
be
wait, I
confused
think
with
you're
Papa
wrong.
Jones.
I think I am wrong. I think he married this woman and then had a bunch of kids with her.
Hmm.
But he wasn't like the father to many women.
Yeah.
But he did have like a love child or like a rape child actually, since he like fucking had her as a sex slave. So like,
Hey man,
not really. Yeah.
sometimes it happens. Shouldn't, but it
Shouldn't.
does.
Anyway,
That's
Any
interesting. We're at 57 minutes.
57 minutes?
57 minutes.
57 minutes packed chock full of spooky goodness?
Yeah, man.
well, there's
I mean,
a couple
it'll get
stuff-
cut
Dummies.
down,
There's a
but
couple things we
it'll
have to
probably
cut out.
get down to like 45, maybe 50 minutes.
45 to 50 minutes of
We were talking
unadulterated goodness?
Oh no, we
Yes,
fucking
yes.
got off topic though. We've been talking.
Yeah, this is gonna be a bitch to edit.
Talk about a horror story.
Yeah, it's gonna turn into one. It's gonna turn into a murder house.
Well,
Are we gonna end it here?
are we?
Are we?
Are we? What a good fucking movie though.
We are. Yes.
Yes, sorry. Before we get sidetracked again.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram.
Oh, you can do that. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Dommy_Darka, DOMMY_DARK0.
And you can find me on Twitter at DanaRenee_. And I've been getting it wrong, apparently.
Oh my god.
My Instagram name is DanaRenee__.
Why do you have 2 underscores in your name?
Because DanaRenee_ is taken. To an account that doesn't post.
That's always the shit.
So.
Y'all want to plug yourselves or some shit?
Would you
Oh,
like
sure.
to plug yourself?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, not Snapchat, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Okay.
Where?
LinkedIn.com.
No, I mean,
Anyway, it's at Melissa Adams, but it's spelled MELISSSADAMS. There's the 3 S's, the 1 A. It was a typo that worked
Hey man,
because the S and the A are right next to each other on the
it's
keyboard.
branding. And my lovely Ed
Hello.
has his music, B&E, on SoundCloud.
Yes, it is B''N''E. There's a space between the B and the N and the E and the N. And my Twitter is Iris Picked Clean, 1 word. And my Instagram is Lavender Jones, all A's because with an E was taken. Thank you.
thank you.
Good night.
So he will be linked, and Melissa will be linked, and we will be linked, all down below. And I would like you guys to tell us some of your scary stories on social media this week.
Please.
Please.
Spook us.
And we'll be back
Next week.
next week with our Halloween episode.
Ooh.